Hey guys, before we hop into your video, I wanted to tell you guys about my new partnership with BetterHelp. If you haven't heard of it, it's an online resource in which you can find your very own friendly local neighborhood therapist, no matter where you are in the world. You sign up, and within 24 hours, they match you with a licensed therapist that's right for you. And you can talk to your counselor every week via phone or video chat, and you also have the opportunity to text them in between sessions. As most of you guys know, I am also a licensed professional as well as a mental health advocate, and sometimes in these readings, very in-depth topics come up that are very intricately related to mental health, and it's for that reason that I offer this resource to you guys. And if you know anyone that can benefit from them, or if you yourself can benefit from them, I suggest you take advantage of them. The information to sign up will be in the description box below, but let's go ahead and get into your reading. Hello, Earth signs, and by Earth signs, I mean specifically Capricorn and Virgo, because it's Taurus month, you know? I should say season, that's more appropriate. So they got their own reading, so it is just you and Virgo. I'm saying you and Virgo as if I'm talking to Capricorns. That's weird. I mean, you know, it's just Capricorn and Virgo. Anywho, but this is your as above reading for May. So I'm going to start by pulling a card from the Work Your Light Oracle. The intention of this card is to pull light from your recent past as well as your past experience to shine light on your present and going into your future. So Spirit, let me get one card for Capricorns and Virgos. Please, Spirit. Anything they need to know, anything about most importance, please allow that to come to the fore in this reading. All right, let's see. Whoop, there it is. Well, look at that. Trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? What would you do, Capricorn and or Virgo? That's a good question. So how I would pretty much sum this up is, and I talk about this a lot with my mentor group. And of course, this is Taurus season, so it's important. When you look at your life, you want to look at your life big picture, right? You want to have a macro as well as micro scale view of your life, right? And in order to have such of a view, it requires a person to have core values. It requires a person to have a belief system, right? Because that's how you create the framework or the boundaries of your vision for your life, in so many words, right? So when we talk about trusting your path, that isn't something that you can do if you don't have a solidified belief system, right? Because what is there to trust in? It's more or less our belief systems will, as we stand in the present, right? What we believe about life or God or universe or whatever it is that you call it, what we believe about that makes sense of the past. Like, it gives us a schematic to categorize our pasts, if you will. It gives us insight into where or how we should be headed going forward. And then in times of trouble, whether it be in the present or that be in the future, we know how to navigate it based on our belief system, right? Now, if you don't have a belief system, it's difficult to trust your path because you don't know why it is you've been where you've been, right? You don't know where you are now other than just, you know, I'm here, right? You don't really know why or how to go forward or what you're even really headed towards. And in the event of that, it's why sometimes, you know, we can get overwhelmed by life because we don't know what to think about our experiences, right? Or how to make sense of them. So in so many words, coming into the month of May, what would behoove Capricorns as well as Virgo people is to cultivate that belief system and to live and stand by that belief system, or for some of you, just clarify it. So it's more or less if you knew you were supported, meaning not just by other humans, but if you knew that you had, angels or guides or whatever it is that you want to refer to it as, if you knew that you had people or entities, rather, energies, whatever the hell you want to call it, in the ethereal realm, or a creator in the ethereal realm that's supportive of you and your doings and your path and whatnot, how different would your life look, right? So that's more or less what it is that we're bringing into the month of May. Now, when we look at your past influence, we have the World card in the reverse. So there's unfinished business that you guys are coming into the month of May with. So for some of you, we could say energetically, this is cycles, energetic cycles that haven't completely wrapped up. For others of you, it's more or less like an obstacle or an inability to move forward, if you will. Like, just like I was saying a few seconds ago, it's not really, even if a cycle energetically has ended, it's not really knowing how to move forward because either you haven't reconciled facets of your past, right? And that's where that whole belief system comes in, or you're still carrying your past with you, or there's some thought that there's something back there that you need or that you forgot, or you don't know how to integrate that into your experiences or something along those lines. But big picture, we're just talking about unfinished business. And I don't know what this is, dude. I don't know if the ratio of Capricorns is greater to Virgos, but it's like Capricorn energy is like elbowing Virgo out of the way, like, this about me. Move, Virgo. I don't know why, dude. But yeah, man, but I'm sorry. Let me sip my coffee. My apologies. Moving right along. But yeah, but that's really what it's looking like for me. It's unfinished business. So even if there are obstacles or roadblocks or, anything less than stellar on your path, and I'm trying to keep this short because this legit could turn into a whole lecture. Okay. My assistant just sent me a message. I'm sorry. This could turn into a whole lecture in real life just because there's so much depth to this, dude. Like, those of you who did session 1 of the purpose prescription, you'll understand what I mean about that. It's like there's so many dynamics that come into this, but belief system is a huge part in that. And for some reason, even in my my personal readings, and I could even say in some of my sessions and stuff too, a lot of what has been coming up is people's beliefs. And I'm a stickler for stuff like that, because it's like my whole MO in life is, we can say 1,000 things or tell people that we think and feel and believe a certain way. But the main thing that I'm looking for that's the teller in any situation is in a crisis. It's like when you're in crisis and things go awry, that's when your belief system shows up. You know what I mean? Like, and I could even put this within the context of like this whole Corona debacle, right? It's like, if you don't have a belief system or a strong sense of belief about life or whatever, a philosophy or something, then even right now you can't trust your path because it's like everything is up in the air. Because if you're only going by what's occurring in the 3D realm to navigate your path, it's like you're always going to be at the will of what's happening in the world. So like literally how this card is, if the world is upside down, if we were very literal about it, If the world is upside down, that's when your belief is supposed to kick in. And if I said it in what is that saying? Walk by faith and not by sight. That's what that would look like. Is despite the world being upside down, you wouldn't allow that to deter you from what it is that you know that spirit is leading you to do. So I feel for both Capricorns and for Virgos, that's gonna be a huge deal this month, is for you to trust spirit as opposed to the external realm. You know what I mean? Now, your overall theme for the month, oh, look at that. We have the Ace of Cups. That's probably why. It's an emotional new opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Something that could grow into your 10 of Cups. So here's the deal. I'm not going to say this before I look at your roadblock because I'm going to be so mad if I say all of this and turn the card over and the card is saying everything I just said, and then I'm going to have to explain it all over again. So let's just go ahead and turn you guys' roadblock card over. The Page of Cups. All right, here's the dealio. Gosh, I love you guys. All right, here's the deal. And I know a lot of Capricorns, and I know a lot of Virgos. My fellow earth signs, I love y'all so much. But here's the thing. You guys are facing opposition in the month of May. However, it's good opposition, right? Spirit is pushing you guys to stretch your spiritual muscle, your faith muscle, whatever it is you want to call it. Because with the roadblock, we have the Page of Cups, right? With the Ace of Cups being the theme for your month, this is more or less what you guys want, what it is you would want to get to, and what it is that Spirit is trying to give you, right? So it's something that is in alignment with your true inner space, your authentic self, your soul essence, if you will. Now, with the past influence energy coming into May, the thing that's blocking you is the fact that you guys have or will get this month a bomb-ass idea. And when I say bomb-ass idea, that could manifest in a myriad of different ways because you're a bunch of different people. So this could be an idea to start a business, change careers, right? Start a spiritual practice, get your finances in order, start thinking about a relationship, whatever the case may be. It could be different for everyone. But the core essence of this is it's an inspiration. It's something that rises up in you that's like, we should do XYZ, right? And it's something you would love to do. However, the reason why this is showing up in your block position is because your inner world, your feminine energy with this good old cups going on here, right, is in opposition to this world in the reverse. So it's like what your spirit is telling you sounds asinine in, what's the word I'm looking for? Like in contrast to what it is that you'd be seeing in 3D, right? So it's like, I can't do this because I'm not going to be able to do that because don't have the money, Corona, social distancing, you know what I mean? Or stuff like that doesn't happen for me. I legit feel like I've said this already. Where did I say this? I said this somewhere. I don't remember. I don't know if it was another reading. I have no idea. Y'all have been reading so much. Lord Jesus in heaven, I don't know. Moving right along. But the whole thing is that this inspiration is in direct opposition to what seems to be correct. Now, if you've been with my channel for some time, you know that I've said this probably 1,000 times before. What it is that we see in 3D, everything here on earth in front of you and around you is in the process of dying or it's already dead, right? It's the byproduct of what is. What is what is in the ethereal realm, in the energetic realm, right? Everything that you see right now today is past tense to the spiritual realm, right? Because everything starts in the spiritual realm and then it manifests here. If you're familiar with the Our Father's prayer, that's why it says on earth as it is in heaven, right? So everything here is a byproduct of what has already been. So a lot of times when we see roadblocks and trouble on our path today, when something goes awry today, that's because a collection of choices that you and other people have made that have played out to what we see now, right? So when we're trying to avoid consequences of choices in the present, sometimes you may be 3 to 6 months out on the choice that caused that problem to manifest today, if that's making sense, right? So when you're trying to shift and change things, you're looking at something that's dying or dead to determine your life, right? So this is more or less spirit shifting, or assisting you guys with shifting to focus on what is, as opposed to what's dying or already dead. Because if you focus on death, us being creators, what you focus your energy on grows. That's why you pay attention. Your energy is currency. What you focus on will reproduce after its own kind. So if you're focused on death, you can only then beget more death. If you're constantly in a state of wanting, needing, desiring, you will only continue to manifest more wanting and needing and desiring. You know what I mean? Your emotions are the frequency that we create with. It's water, right? You think of water, you put water on a seed, that's what causes seeds to grow. You feel what I'm saying? I hope you do, because if you don't, you're not listening with your spiritual ears, you're listening with your human ones, and they don't know what's popping. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so that's what the challenge is. An inspiration is going to come up for you guys this month. And the challenge is going to be acting on that despite what it is that you're seeing around you. Now, the possibilities, hello, we have the King of Pentacles. So the thing is, you could legit be sitting pretty. Now, the thing that I say a lot too, when we talk about like laws of attraction and, you know, manifesting, and this is all the stuff I talked about in the seminar, come to think about it. But when we talk about laws of attraction, when we talk about manifesting and things of the sort, or even living a spiritual life, it don't look like what most people think it looks like. It looks ass backwards. You know what I'm saying? When everything in the world is going to shit, and somebody tells you, like, listen to the inspiration that you got to start a scrapbook, or, you know, a yoga business, or whatever the case may be, that sounds asinine, because it's like, oh my gosh, the economy and da 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 da. And it's like, it's not saying to be ignorant of anything that's happening in the world, but at the same time, it's like, why would you deny divine inspiration? If spirit is telling you to do something, it's like, I get you, spirit, but the world. You feel what I'm saying? So the possibility is that you can hit a place of mastery. I really feel like that's in a level of finance and comfort. You know what I mean? Like personal material comfort. You know what I mean? Or it could just be in your career realm. Like, say if the idea comes to you to, I don't know, take some type of course online or something of the sort. It's more or less to trust your path and listen to yourself, and not allow external influences to tell you what you should or should not be doing. You know what I mean? Because that's how you get the tea. That's how you get the leg up on stuff, is when you listen to the spiritual weather forecast, if you will, and not be too fixated on what people are saying external to you. Now, the other thing I feel like would come up with that, and I'm about to throw the dice if I could find this key. The other thing I feel would come up with that, the other issue that people would face with this, is the fact that you're not sure when it is that spirit is talking to you or when it's your own thoughts. Right? And the main thing I always tell people, and I'm not even gonna say that out loud. Never mind. But the thing I always tell people is the difference between the most mundane, simplest way to discern the difference between your own thoughts and your intuition is that your thoughts ask questions. Should I go here? Should I go there? Should we do this? Should we do that? Is that person doing this? But your intuition makes statements. Go here, go there. They're doing this. They're doing that. If that makes sense. That's the most simplest way. Wow, rising. Okay. It's the most simplest way that I could say it. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the dice of resonance. You can ask a yes or no question if you like. And then I'm going to pull you guys individual cards for the extended. If I could find all my decks, Lord. We have Aquarius, we have coworker boss, we have rising, we have Aries, and yes is the answer to your question. So Aquarius, rising, yes, coworker boss, and Aries, and we're going to throw the dice that have no name. I need to, what did I do with my other decks, man? Oh, they're on the other side of the room. Dang it! We have Sun, we have Gemini, and we have the number 9. Let me go grab these other decks. That's down bad. Hold on, peoples. It's always the first sign that I do of the day that I'm all discombobulated. Okay, let's see. So for the Sun, oh, Mr. Sun, Mr. Golden Sun. Okay, we have Father, masculine principle, the law of polarity, your infinite, self-mastery. Start working on strengthening the weak points of your sun sign. So the simplest way to do that is, if you're, everybody watching this is not necessarily a Virgo and Capricorn sun per se, but you can just Google the weaknesses of your sun sign. And this is something that I do with clients as well when we're working on personal development, but I do it more with the MBTI, the Myers-Briggs personality assessment, is looking at a person's MBTI and looking at what the weaknesses of those are. And the simplest way to start doing personal growth is to not continue to strengthen your strengths. It's to strengthen your weaknesses. Ooh, wow, this is funny. Okay, I don't know why I need to say this, but I'm gonna say it. If there's anybody out there that's studying for, I don't know, like board exams or like the GRE maybe, or LSAT, or I don't know. I mean, whatever. I mean, you could be doing, what do you call that for the teachers? Praxis? I don't know. That's funny. I was totally talking about like personality stuff, but it went to that. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So if you're studying for some type of exam like that, I'm going to tell you my secret of how I study for things like that. And it's similar to what I do to help people to do personal development. It's the same technique I use to pass my board exams. And this is me tooting my own horn because I'm very proud. I took them one time and passed. Okay. So state and national. Whoop, whoop. Okay. Sorry. Enough about me. So it's a similar process you would use. So if you're studying for something, you would use this process as well. When I studied for my board exams, the first thing that I did, like they have the practice tests. The first thing I did was, before I studied, I took the practice test and I looked at the areas that I was weak in, like without studying at all. So I looked at my strongest areas, because like for my board exam, there was like an app that had the test on there. So it gave you like a graph. So I looked at all the areas that I scored in a high passing percentile in before studying. And I put those off to the side, and those were the last things that I studied. So I looked at what my weak areas were. So when I started actually studying, I focused on the weak areas, right, first. And then I went to the areas that I was strong in. So I spent the most time in the weak areas. So after I studied for some time, I went back and I took it again, the practice test again, and I saw how they changed, right? So, of course, your stronger areas get stronger. your weaker areas get a little bit stronger. And then I looked again at my weakest area, and that's what I would spend more time on. And I did the same thing. So the ones that I scored in a high percentile in that were considered a passing score, I would spend less time on those and more time on the ones that I was weaker in, right? And then, I just kept doing that process up until I went to take my boards and passed, right? So I don't know I guess it's the end of the year. Even though it's Rona, I'm pretty sure that, I don't know how they do high school anymore. Do high school students have to take a test to get out of school? I don't know. I feel like they should just waive stuff like that personally, but that's neither here nor there. But it is May. So, if some of you are studying for stuff like that, that's a good technique to use, which is very similar to that process that I use for personal development, because it's looking at the areas that you're weak in and strengthening those things or pushing past your comfort zone in those particular areas that help you grow as an overall person, but it also works for tests as well. So best of luck to those of you out there who have to take exams like that. Whew, ciao. You couldn't pay me enough money to go back and do that. I'm just saying. Moving right along. You guys have the number 9, so that means your major arcana for the month is the Hermit. And I heard through the grapevine that the month of May, like Taurus season period, is the ideal time for, well, not just Taurus season. I think it's because all of the, don't pay no mind to me, y'all. I just be listening to stuff that my astrologers say that makes sense, and I just be repeating it. Sorry. But I think it's because all the planets that are retrograde right now, it's like a personal reflection type of deal. So with the Hermit coming up for you guys, I feel that that's really what it is. Because if I were to say overall, just the energy signature that I'm picking up, like just devoid of the cards and everything, and just say what my spirit's saying to me right now, what my spirit is saying, this is almost like an elevation, if you will. It's like Virgo and Capricorn have all of the elements within them to stand in a position of mastery. But in order to get there, you have to do something that's counterintuitive, right? And the thing that's counterintuitive is for you to go downstairs into the attic, if you will. Because that's what the whole spiritual thing is about. You're doing stuff that makes no sense in 3D, but it gets you to actually where it is that you need to be. You know what I mean? So it's almost like to solve whatever it is y'all are dealing with, the thought is to go without, but the truth is you need to go within, right? So anywho, what it says is every moment life offers an opportunity for I cannot talk right now. Life offers an opportunity for personal growth and development. And I love when stuff like that happens, dude. That's legit everything that I've been saying just now. But it's very true. In every opportunity. Wow, that's so funny. Gemini came up too. And as I was talking about that, I kept thinking about the Lover's card in my head. Because I said it's kind of like the whole 6 and 9 element, like in meta mathematics. And if you put that like with the archetypes and stuff like that, it's like the mirroring effect between the Lover's card and the Hermit. You know what I'm saying? I talked about that in whatchamacallit, in Motherfuck Twin Flames. But that's funny, because I just realized Gemini being there. But anywho, let me go ahead and pull you guys cards for the extended, because this ended up getting buku long with me talking to y'all about buku stuff or whatever. So let's see. I'm going to start with Capricorn and see what's poppin'. All right. First card for Capricorn. We have the Outsider. We have Flowering. We have Stress. And we have Participation. Then your Hidden Block card. We have the I cannot say that word, Programmer. And your Black Mirror Oracle, we have hiding your true self. Ain't that something? Oh my goodness. And then I'm going to do Virgo. Come here, cards. All right, Virgo. We have ripeness. We have moment to moment. We have projections. And we have guilt. Your hidden block. The urban farmer. And your Black Mirror Oracle. Is this me? Fascinating. One thing I can say for sure that just the theme I'm seeing in common for both Capricorn and for Virgo, this has a lot to do with identity. Like, this has a lot to do with identity, who you are, you know, what you really stand for, what you're about, you know what I mean? So that still kind of goes back to the whole belief thing we were saying. So that's been your reading, Earth signs. If you're about that extended life where I do the individual signs, so Virgo and Capricorn will be by themselves, you can follow me over to Vimeo or to my website if you're about that life. If not, I still love your freaking face, and I will see you guys soon and later. Deuces.